Hello, it is I once again, Jordan, aka Defcos, One Piece fanboy extraordinaire. I am here today to do the reread review of One Piece Volume 17. I just reread it. It's the end of the Drum Island arc. Today the Viz release for One Piece Chapter 1046 drops, so I checked that out. As always, I always check out the fan release on Thursday or Friday whenever it drops, and then I check out the Viz translation on Sunday. I always do that, just reread it, see if there's any differences, just reabsorb it and whatnot. It was a really fun chapter. But I already talked about it in a previous video, so feel free to check that out if you feel so inclined. But today we're here for One Piece 17. So let's get right into it. I will read the foreword. All right, so my staff and I often go to a very noisy Japanese restaurant where a lot of people take their children. There are TVs at each table. If you go there on Sunday nights at 7:30, you'll see the children staring at the TV screens with their mouths wide open, looking silly. They're watching One Piece. When I see that, I never want to let them down. So that's pretty awesome. Can you imagine? That would be dope. That's like my dream. All right, so here we go. We pick up where we left off. One Piece. Luffy hit Wapol with the bullet at the very end of last volume. Dum bullet. Sent him flying. Um, so let's see here. So Kuromanimo sends the static hairballs at Sanji and Chopper. I put a post-it note here just because I really like this scene here. This scene on this page. Luffy was cold. He realized it was cold. He always realizes it's cold with a delay. And he goes up to Nami's room where Nami is in bed, and he's looking for a coat. He's like, "Oh, I need a coat. Is there a coat around here, whatever?" And Nami's like, "Hey, what's going on? What's going on out there? I'm hearing a lot of noise and stuff." And Luffy's like, "Oh, it's just a fight. Don't worry about it, whatever." And for some reason, I just really it's just I don't know. It's just a cool scene. It's just Nami. Luffy checking in on Nami, getting his coat, and then going back outside. And for some reason, I just really enjoyed that page. It's just one page, one scene. But I think it's a cool little side, a side scene, if that makes any sense. I think it's pretty cool. Okay, so Chopper and here's a cool scene. When Luffy comes back, Sanji says, "Hey Luffy, grab onto my leg." And then they do a team up technique. Arme de l'air, air assault. And he kicks him. And then Luffy does some spins and just rockets right into Wapol. And I like that a lot. That's a cool attack there. In One Piece, you'll get the Straw Hats that'll do team up techniques. I guess not just the Straw Hats, but the Straw Hats definitely do it from time to time when they'll team up and do an attack together. I'm pretty sure Zoro and Sanji have done some before. I remember during Thriller Bark when Chopper and Robin do the Robin Cho suplex. So yeah, so they always do like team up techniques. I think that's pretty awesome. I get the term team up technique from Rival Schools, by the way. If you've ever played Rival Schools, that was a fun game. Okay, so that was a cool sequence right there. Then Wapple gets ready to do the Munch Munch Factory. The 20 doctors are trying to save Dalton, who got shot by the arrows a couple volumes ago. Um, so Wapple does the Munch Munch Factory, Wapple House, and then he eats Kuromanimo and Chess, and then they like get fused together inside of him, and then they come back out as Chess Marimo. Um, and then we get the whole sequence um, where Wapple starts to shoot the flag, Dr. Hiruluk's flag that's on top of the castle. I put a post-it note here. Oh yeah, because right here, Dalton says, "This is right here at the bottom here." He says, "This is our chance to be free of that tyrant. We must fight him now or live as slaves." And when I read that, I just immediately started thinking of the current arc with with Kaido, because it's a similar situation. Like they have to defeat Kaido, or they're gonna be his slaves. And it got me thinking. Like I love One Piece to death, as you can tell. Like I wouldn't be making these videos if I didn't. But One Piece is a little formulaic. Dare I say it's a little repetitive? It's kind of like each arc is like the same formula. Each like major arc is kind of like the same formula. Like there's a big bad guy that's trying to take over. The Straw Hats have to defeat him. Luffy takes him on. Then his second in command gets taken on by Zoro. His third in command gets taken on by Sanji, and like that's just kind of how it goes. And I love the formula. It's a cool formula. It works. It's exciting. I love it a lot. But it does. I mean, it is a little repetitive. Like just to be honest about it, that doesn't mean that it's not enjoyable, but it is kind of formulaic. Um, so yeah, so that's what got me thinking of that when I read that panel. Um, oh yeah, and then I put another post-it note here just because this is a classic panel when Dalton is all busted up and he wants to get to the castle, and Usopp says, "Hey, climb on my back," right here. He says, "Climb on my back, and I'll carry you to the castle." And I always like that panel a lot. Like I think Usopp is being a boss in that panel. Um, yeah, so that's why I put a poster there. Uh, so yeah, so Wapol is firing at the flag. Chopper goes up to him and tries to stop him, and then Luffy climbs up to the flag and starts talking about like, hey, like you can't take down this flag. Like this flag is to be respected. You're just a fraud and all that. Oh yeah, this is funny when Usopp is trying to carry Dalton, but he can't really carry him, and then Zoro just picks him up. He just picks him up. He's like, "All right, let's go," and then right after that, Usopp starts to like kick Zoro, like, "Hey, you're stealing my thunder, man." That's pretty funny. Um, oh yeah, so Wappo keeps shooting at the flag, and Luffy's like, "Nope, you can't like destroy this flag." And this is another pretty classic, iconic panel right here. This one right here. That's like a memorable panel for sure. Luffy standing there, like the smoke coming off of him, and he's holding the flag. Like this flag is stronger than you, Wapple. So that's a pretty iconic panel right there. Oh yeah, so Chopper starts to fight Chess Marimo, and this is a pretty cool fight. Chopper versus Chess Marimo. It's the first time we see the Chopper use the Rumble Ball. Yeah, he uses the Rumble Ball. You know, he eats it right there. And while reading this sequence here, this like fight between Chopper and Chess Marimo, it made me feel like Chopper was originally supposed to be like more of a fighter. As the story goes on, and I mean, Chopper definitely has some fights, and he fights like who does he fight? He fights Miss Merry Christmas and Mister Four with Usopp and Alabasta. He fights I think his name is Gidatsu, if I'm not mistaken. He fights Gidatsu in Skypiea. He fights. What else does he fight? He fights. Let's see here. Oh, he fights. What's his name? The guy in this lobby, the Kabuki guy. I forget his name, but he fights him, and that's when he goes Monster Point, and that was an epic moment. When Chopper went Monster Point for the first time, that shit blew my mind. So yeah, so he definitely has fights. He has fights. So I guess he is a fighter. Um, but I feel like recently he hasn't really had like a major fight in a while. Um, he kind of fights with Queen a little bit in Wano. Um, but he doesn't. That's not like his main fight. He's just trying to like delay Queen, if I remember correctly. He's just like taking him on. Uh, but then Sanji shows up and takes over the fight, and that becomes like Sanji's main fight. Um, but I feel like Chopper hasn't had like a real one-on-one fight in a long time. I remember he had that fight in Fishman Island too versus the one of the one of Hodie's henchmen. I forget his name. The little guy who like digs through the ground. Um, but yeah, I just feel like Chopper isn't as much of a fighter as he used to be. Maybe I'm just remembering wrong, but that's definitely the impression I have. Um, he's more of like a supporting character. Like he's the doctor if somebody needs medicine or some kind of like remedy or whatever. Then that's Chopper's job is to take care of them. But I feel like it's been a long time since he's had like a one-on-one fight like in this volume, and he like owned him too. He takes him out pretty quickly and swiftly. So yeah, so we get to see all the Rumble Ball transformations. Well, not all of them. Or yeah, I don't think we see all of them, but we see a few of them. And yeah, so like jumping. In this one, they call it jumping boost. I liked it. Like even in the anime, it's jumping point, and I remember in the fan translation, it was jumping point. I think it's supposed to be point, not boost. But for some reason, they changed it to boost in this. I wonder why. I think point is kind of cooler. I mean, I guess it's more of a boost than a point, but but I don't know. I think like jumping point though, heavy point though, like that sounds pretty cool. Uh, I don't know. I'm a sucker for the anime voices. Okay, so yeah, so oh yeah, he goes into arm point or arm boost. Oh yeah, he does the scope. I don't think he's done that. Is this the only time he does that, or does he do? Did he do that? I forget. When else has he used scope? I'm trying to remember. Does he use it in Alabasta? Maybe he does. Does he use it in Skypiea? I can't remember, but for some reason I feel like this is the only instance of him using scope where he like puts his hooves together and he like tries to find the weak point. It kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy. What was that move called in Final Fantasy? Where you can like detect like the bad guy's weaknesses. It's kind of similar. Um, but yeah, but I don't remember him doing that like in any other instance. Like, I mean, I'll reread it and I'll see. But um, yeah, this is literally the only time I remember him using scope. He's probably used it at some other point. Oh yeah, and then he hits him with the final blow right there, the cloven rose uppercuts him, and then he takes him out. So he took him out in 3 minutes because a rumble ball lasts 3 minutes. So Chopper was pretty like beastly in this volume. Like I feel like he was supposed to be more on par with like Sanji and Zoro and Luffy at first. Maybe not to that extent, but he was definitely. I feel like he was supposed to be more of a fighter than he is now. I mean, I guess they're all fighters, really. But the monster trio, like that's their specialty. Okay, so Wapol goes into the castle. Then he does this really weird thing where he eats himself to slim down, and then he's like slimmer, and he's like assaulting Nami. Then Luffy kicks him. Nami steals his key to the weapon room. Uh, oh yeah, so Luffy. Okay, so he hits him with the cannonball. Wapol does. It seems like he has like a cannon that comes out of his mouth, and he like shoots it at Luffy. But apparently Luffy dodges, I guess, because he doesn't get hit by it. You just see Luffy like behind Wapol. Um, he just shows up behind Wapol and then hits him with the Gum Gum bow gun, which is pretty awesome. He like winds up behind him, and then just like swings him in the air, and then he comes out at the top of the tower there, and he's like stuck, and he's looking right at the flag. And then Luffy hits him with the massive. He like reels his hands back from super far away and hits him with the massive Gum Gum Bazooka and sends him flying, kind of like he did to Buggy at the beginning of the story. He hits him with the massive bazooka right there, and that's how he defeats Wapol. That takes Wapol out. So yeah, I feel like Wapol and Chess Marimo didn't really give Usopp. I mean Usopp. Why did I say Usopp? Chopper and Luffy much of a challenge. Like they took them on pretty easily. Like they didn't really like. It wasn't like Arlong Park or even like Syrup Village. Um, yeah, they didn't really wasn't much of a back and forth fight. Like Luffy and Chopper pretty much owned them pretty easily. Oh yeah, so then uh, Kureha still wants to keep them there for a couple more days so that they heal. But they're like, nah, we gotta go. Like we gotta get to Alabasta. Like, and then Nami exchanges the key to for her for the fee that Kureha was charging them to heal them, and also for like to let them leave. Like she's like, let us go. Like come on. And then this is where Chopper decides to join, and Luffy convinces him to join. At first, he's like, "No, I can't join because I'm a reindeer. I'm like a reindeer monster, and like I'm not human, and I can't just hang out with you guys." And then Luffy just says, "Just shut up and come with us." And this is another. There are a lot of kind of classic moments in this volume that at least for me, moments that I remembered pretty vividly. And this is one of them when he just says, "Just shut up and come with us." A lot of memorable panels. But yeah, and then Dr. Correa kind of makes it seem like she doesn't want him to leave, but she actually does. She's just acting like she doesn't. When I was reading this, I was like, wait, what? She doesn't want him to leave? Like, what the fuck? Usually, like, whenever Straw Hat joins, whoever their their support system at home, like their family and friends or whatever, are usually supportive and like, okay, yeah, go be a pirate, go join the Straw Hats. And here it seemed like Dr. Kureha didn't want Chopper to leave when he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go," and she was like, "No, you're not." But then she was actually just like acting that way. She didn't mean it. Um, this I put a post-it note here just because I really like this quote from Chopper where he says, um, where Dr. Kureha is saying, "Oh, you can't leave. Like, who's ever heard of a seagoing reindeer?" And then Chopper says, "That's right. I am a reindeer, but I'm a man too." I love that. I just love that for some reason. Like, I think that's a cool thing to say. And I had actually forgotten. I had forgotten that he even said that. But but yeah, but I think that's a cool retort there. Coming from Chopper, it's just kind of funny. Um, so yeah, so they leave. They get in the sleigh, and here we get this like kind of Christmassy vibe. I don't know. This part reminded me of Christmas. I guess because of the snow and the moon and stuff and the trees. Um, I wonder if the Drum Island art kind of was published like around Christmas time. I guess it probably took. It may have taken like a year or so for it to finish completely. Um, yeah, but I wonder if this chapter was around Christmas. He's in the sleigh. He's a reindeer. Let's see here. Okay, yeah. So they're heading back to the Mary, and then we get the pink snow. Doctor here looks like formula to make the snow pink and look like sakura flowers. So that was his whole thing. I guess that's what he was talking about when he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make sakura flowers bloom here." He just wanted to turn the snow pink, I guess. So that's what he did. Oh, and here we get the first appearance of Ace. I had forgotten that Ace actually shows up in this volume, even though he's just like in silhouette right here. Um, but yeah, that's Ace. Ace shows up. He showed up at Drum Island because they said before they said, "Oh, Blackbeard showed up like a few months ago, or whatever." And apparently, Ace was since Ace is following Blackbeard, trying to get a hold of Blackbeard. Um, yeah, so Ace showed up. Ace showed up too, since he's following Blackbeard. So that makes sense. And here we get a good shot of him where he says, "My name is Ace." I'd completely forgotten that both Blackbeard and Ace showed up at Drum Island. I thought that Ace, the first time you see Ace was Alabasta, and the first time you see Blackbeard was Jaya. That's what I thought. I mean, I guess the first time you see Blackbeard is in Jaya, from what I remember. But they talk about him before then. Like they talk about him going to Drum Island and whatnot. Oh, and here we get the sequence where Dr. Kureha and Dalton talk about Gold Roger, and Dr. Kureha says, "Oh, have you ever heard of Gold D. Roger?" And this is the first time that we actually see that his name is not Gold Roger, it's Gold D. Roger. Um, and then here we get um, the the mention of the will of D. Dr. Correa says, so the will of D lives on. And we still don't really know what the will of D is, or like what the D stands for, what it all means. Um, there are a lot of theories, but we don't really know. It's been so long. We find out that his name is Monkey D. Luffy in the first chapter, and we still don't know what the hell the D stands for. I really want to know what it means. Oh yeah, this is an interesting sequence here, or an interesting panel, I should say. They're partying because Chopper just joined, so they're happy because they have a new shipmate, a new Nakama. And here we have a scene where Zoro is actually filling up Sanji's cup. And I'm like, oh shit, he's being friendly to Sanji. How about that? But then they start fighting, like, right afterwards. Okay, so yeah, so they're partying. And then we cut back to Little Garden, where we see Mr. Tu Bon Clay. Full shot of him. He looks crazy, man. So yeah, so then Mr. Tu Bon Clay is like, oh, where's Mr. 3? Because he was sent to kill Mr. 3. And I guess Mr. 3 went to Alabasta, so they start heading to Alabasta. And then we cut to Alabasta and we see Crocodile and Robin. And then Crocodile shows up because there's a bunch of pirates that are attacking the town or whatever. And they're all like hailing Crocodile. I guess they don't know that Crocodile is Mr. Zero. Like, we know that, but I don't think that the like citizens of Alabasta necessarily know that. I guess they don't. Um, so Crocodile's kind of acting like their hero. And here we get the first like full shot of Crocodile. So yeah, so that's cool. And then he like takes out the pirates that were attacking the town. He takes them out pretty easily, and we don't exactly see what he does, but there's like a bunch of wind, and then they're all buried in sand, and he gets stabbed, and it just goes right through him. Yeah, even Cobra is like, oh, we're indebted to Crocodile, like we're indebted to him. So they definitely don't know that he's like the head of Baroque Works. Even though Vivi knows, so I guess Vivi's gonna tell them. Oh yeah, here we get the gag where they ate all the food. They had food to last them until Alabasta, and Luffy and Karu and Chopper and Usopp ate it all. Um, then we get the breakdown of Baroque Works and how and all the agents on this page here. So that's kind of cool. Mr. Zero, Mr. One, Mr. Two, Mr. Three, Miss All Sunday, Miss Doublefinger, Miss Golden Wake. And all the characters that we've met already, we see pictures of them. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. They're heading to Alabasta. Um, the remaining officer agents will be coming together, and that's the end of volume 17. So yeah, so that was cool as always. Oh Oh yeah, I meant to do a video yesterday. Today's Sunday. I meant to do a video yesterday, but I didn't because I actually switched my work schedule. I was supposed to work in the morning, and I ended up working in the afternoon instead. And if I had worked in the morning, I would have come home in the afternoon and done a video. But since I ended up going to work in the afternoon, I didn't have time to do a video. So, my bad if you care at all. But I'm doing a video today, and I will do another one on Wednesday. There is no chapter this week, unfortunately, so that's a bummer. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to wait 2 weeks for the next chapter, chapter 1047, which that always sucks. That's the one downside about being a One Piece fan is when it goes on break and you have to wait super long to know what happens next. But it is what it is. I'd rather there be a break and Oda get his rest and like recharge his batteries and stuff because being a manga artist is brutal, completely brutal. Like I want to be a manga artist, but I don't know if I could have that schedule. Like I don't think I'd be able to work that much. Um, if I was ever a manga artist, or like I guess in my case, I would probably be more of a webcomic manga artist, which I plan on doing. So later this year, getting back into doing that. So I'll definitely let you know. But yeah, I think I'm gonna like what I used to do when I was drawing a comic pretty seriously. It was like mainly what I did all day. I would do a page a day, pretty much. So I would do one page, and that would be it. And then the next day I'd do another page, and then I'd just go on like that. And that was basically my schedule. And every other day I would take a day off and I wouldn't draw. But for the most part, for like a whole year or something like that, I did like a page a day. I did a page a day. So I think I'd be more inclined to do something like that. And even that is kind of like a lot of work. Like it could take a long time. It could take like all day to do one page, at least for me. I mean, I just work by myself. Oda has assistants and stuff like that, but he draws way more, obviously. They kind of need all that, they need a team in order to bust out that many pages per week. Um, but yeah, so if I was to do it, I would do like a page a day, I think, and then I would do like 30 pages a month, and I would release like a chapter of 30 pages or something like that per month. I think I'll try and do something like that when I get back into it. Um, so yeah, so that's gonna be my plan in the near future. But anyway, in any case, when it comes to One Piece, I will be doing another video on Wednesday. I'll be doing volume 18. Uh, I definitely need to find a way to get the next volumes after volume 23. I would love to get the box set, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So I guess I'll just have to buy them individually. But anyway, so that being said, if you indeed watched me talk about One Piece for over half an hour, I believe it's been over half an hour, yeah. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the very near future. Take it easy.